The Poco F1 was a 2018 budget flagship from a Xiaomi sub-brand. The Redmi K20 Pro is a 2019 budget flagship from a Xiaomi sub-brand. Now, given this similarity and the imminent launch of the K20 Pro, is the K20 Pro a phone worth upgrading to from the Poco F1? Well, let's find out. Hey guys, Ash here, and you're watching Z4eTech. Now, it's been almost a year since the launch of the Poco F1, and while the internals have aged quite gracefully, the design, well, given that we are seeing more and more gradients even in the budget segment now, the bland Poco F1 plastic hasn't aged so well. Even the Kevlar variant looks a bit dated by 2019 standards. On the other hand, we have a glass sandwich design with the K20 Pro. It looks gorgeous with 3D glass to the back and 2.5D glass to the front. Of course, glass comes with its own trade-offs. It is more fragile and slippery. Also, despite the same thickness and similar overall dimensions, the Poco F1 feels lighter. That said, the glass build does look and feel premium. Now remember, this here is the carbon black variant. Redmi's flame red and glacier blue variants are bound to turn more heads. So design-wise, it is a definite upgrade. By the way, the K20 Pro is a phone that I am giving away, so if you've not checked the giveaway out, there is a link in the description below, so check it out. And if you've liked what you've been seeing so far, don't forget to turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon. Now moving right on to the displays, we have another major upgrade here. The Poco F1 has a 6.18-inch IPS LCD panel, which is quite good, yes, but it has a wide notch up top. The Redmi K20 Pro, on the other hand, it is notch free. It has a larger 6.39-inch Super AMOLED panel now. AMOLED equals punchier colors, deeper blacks, you know the spiel. What is all the more interesting here is that apart from the display technology it used, the bezels are also much smaller on the K20 Pro. In fact, they are small enough that despite the display size increase, the K20 Pro is only marginally taller while actually being narrower than the Poco F1. Now, thanks to that AMOLED panel, we have an in-display fingerprint scanner as well on the K20 Pro. The Poco F1, on the other hand, resorts to a rear fingerprint scanner. The Redmi K20 Pro also has NFC that the F1 lacks. So two upgrades, but there are also a couple of steps back. For example, the IR scanner for more accurate low-light face scanning. Now that's lost on the K20 Pro, which has moved to a pop-up camera for the all-screen display. For facial scanning with this pop-up camera, you need the screen to be on and then you need to swipe, so which takes a little bit more time. Stereo audio has been removed too, but I don't really care about this one much because stereo audio didn't really work well on the F1 to begin with, and the K20 Pro does have louder speakers. Now the removal that I'm really bummed about, now that would have to be micro SD. That's gone. So we have a mixed bag of sundries, a few steps forwards, a few steps back. And as far as the specs go, the Poco F1 sports last year's flagship Snapdragon 845 chip, while the Redmi K20 Pro, of course, it sports this year's flagship, the Snapdragon 855 chip. And if you're going by pure numbers, then of course, then the K20 Pro does pack a heavier punch. But when it comes to day-to-day performance, you're barely gonna notice a difference. These phones, they are neck and neck, apps open up fast. The older 845 is still powerful enough to handle pretty much anything you throw at it. No matter what you're doing, the Poco F1 still remains a beast. There are no complaints here. Whether it's browsing, whether it's gaming, whatever it is that you wanna do, the Poco F1 can still get everything done without any complaints whatsoever. Now onto battery life. Both phones have the same 4000 mAh battery, both run on MIUI, but the smaller 7nm chip on the K20 Pro should give it a slight boost in battery life. When it comes to charging speeds, both phones come with 18-watt adapters out of the box. Both are capable of supporting 27-watt chargers. So I guess in terms of charging speeds, these two are pretty even. Moving on to software, we have MIUI 10 built on top of Android 9 Pie running on both devices with one key difference. Poco India is committed to not showing ads on the Poco F1, and they have a super responsive team who've kind of really been listening to customer feedback over the last 1 year. If you look at it, they've updated a lot. They've added wideband L1 support, they've added 4K 60 FPS, super slow motion, the night mode. They've added a lot on the Poco F1. On the other hand, the K20 in India, that is coming under the Redmi banner, Redmi's not been super responsive. We've gotten, if you look at Redmi's Twitter, you see a lot of scripted replies. It's in drastic contrast to Poco. You see a lot more marketing aimed tweets. It's just a drastic difference, and Of course, coming under Redmi, we can expect ads here as well. So in this case, as far as software goes, I think I'd actually prefer the Poco F1 here. Now coming to the cameras, we have a primary 12 megapixel Sony IMX363 with an f1.9 lens on the Poco F1, while the K20 Pro comes with the 48 megapixel Sony IMX586 that we've seen most 2019 flagships adopt. It's paired with an f1.8 lens, by the way. Under bright light, both phones take good looking shots, but the K20 Pro has much better dynamic range. The detail levels look similar, but when we switch to 48 megapixel mode, the K20 Pro comes out ahead. Crisper details. On to night mode then. Here we see quite a big difference between both. The K20 Pro takes images with much less noise thanks to pixel binning, as that gives it a much larger pixel size. Now with the secondary cameras, the Poco F1 has a depth sensor, while the K20 Pro has a huge advantage, as first it has an 8 megapixel telephoto to get 2x optical zoom shots like this, and then it has a 13 megapixel ultra wide that lets you fit a lot more into an image like this. Finally, when it comes to selfies, both phones have 20 megapixel selfie cameras. The F1 actually has a larger pixel size and wider aperture, but despite that, the selfies and selfie portraits seem quite similar. What do you think? Which one do you like more? Let me know in the comments below. All that said, overall the optics do indeed seem to be a solid upgrade from the Poco F1. Now guys, usually I don't recommend single generational upgrades, and when I do, it's only because a phone is so bad that the new one becomes a must upgrade. Here I'm actually gonna say the K20 Pro might just be worth upgrading to. Not because the Poco F1 is a bad phone. If performance with excellent battery life is something you want, the F1 should continue to keep you happy. But if you want more than just performance and battery life, then there is a lot more that the K20 Pro brings to the table. Improved optics, more cameras, a better build, NFC, an all-screen AMOLED panel, an in-display fingerprint scanner, a pop-up selfie camera, and so on. Yes, it comes at the expense of microSD and maybe a few ads and a price increase, but the K20 Pro seems to be a huge step forward here. So I think it is a worthy upgrade. So what do you think? Do you agree with my conclusion here? Let me know in the comments below. And with that, we get to the end of this video. Give this video a thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about it. Also subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.